just one chance, just one, and you can't even provide that.
So what you're saying? Vitinha and Neves are over. Who are you talking about? Vitinha
No,
or
no, no, no.
Neves?
Yeah, Neves is a baller, bro. Just Neves is just that guy's. That
Hmm. So you're saying Vitinha is overrated, right?
so overrated. Like he's
Wait,
good. He's actually a very good midfielder, but he's overrated.
based on this game, you're saying he's overrated?
No, no, I've been saying this. I can't lie.
Okay, this is consistent. Okay.
I've been since last season, bro. I've been saying that guy's overrated.
Mod.
I just feel like we're being a little too reactionary,
Wait,
bro.
do you think
Like I
it's
think
better
Vitinha,
between Vitinha and Rice?
I think Rice is better personally.
But
I don't know.
majority of people will say Vitinha.
Yeah, but that's just I don't think that's
And the
because
media will
Vitinha's
consistently.
I don't think that's because Vitinha's overrated. I think that's because Declan Rice is underrated by most people. Like
Nah, I think a lot of people
I
rate.
think Vitinha's a good player.
No,
Like
yes, he's
I,
a
I
good
think
player. No one denies that. I think again, I think both of you and I know what we mean by overrated. It doesn't mean they're a bad player. It's just the media hypes them up to be like just players that they're not. Like
so. You don't
just
think Vitinha is one of the best midfielders, like top
no, yeah,
five in his position? Like
I think
what do you think people rate him as that he's not? Is my
one
question.
majority of people say Vitinha is the best midfielder in the world.
I haven't. I don't think that's true. Like I think most people know Pedri is better than him. I
No,
think
I
no,
think this
everyone was
season
saying
people have said Vitinha is the best midfielder in the world because of his recent accolades. But
even last
historically, I
season.
wouldn't say that.
Wait, last season they were saying this guy should win a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, I mean that's based on
I
the
mean
but hold on. We
he
need to
had a
remember his
great season last
context.
season.
Can you guys hear me by the way? I'm
Yeah,
on
yeah,
blessed.
you're good,
Okay?
you're
Mhm.
good. Yeah,
I was gonna say, you remember when Jorginho finished third for in that one year, finished third in the Ballon d'Or ranking?
yeah,
It's a very similar situation. And by the way, I think Vitinha is better than Jorginho. But
yeah,
the
yeah.
point I'm making
I
is
agree.
that season with Chelsea, obviously, he's pivotal part of the midfield and part of the team that went on to go win the Champions League. Same thing with Vitinha being part of the team, like a squad that wins the Champions League as well. So I really do think that the award goes to like all of the different Donnies that play in that one team that helped to win the CL. They gave it to
Yeah,
J5. Let's be real, in my opinion, I didn't think Jorginho was even that important. For me, it was N'Golo Kante was the main midfielder, similar to the Joao Neves shot you're making right now, Rebecca. They're very similar profile, not necessarily the same, but you know what I mean. Similar to Kante, then Vitinha would be to Kante. But the point I'm making is that I really do feel as though he might be propped into conversations he shouldn't be. I don't disagree with that. I think people have put him a bit too high, but I do think, in my opinion, you guys can disagree. But for me, he's definitely a top midfielder in the game. Like, there's not many better than him, maybe than two or three guys currently playing.
I
That's what I
agree,
say.
bro. Like I hear what you're saying, but even though you're saying all PSG players, like, and we were mainly talking about Dembele across like the last 2 days. Like,
Mm.
bro, Steven, let me ask you a question, right? Unrelated. Who would you say is a smarter footballer in terms of
who has a better
positioning and in
footballing
terms
IQ?
of decision?
No, no, no. Just who has a better footballing IQ between Dembele and Mbappe?
Okay, I'll ask you, yeah, who has the better footballing IQ, Dembele or Kylian Mbappe?
I would probably have to say Mbappe. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We can't. I've been saying we are not going to rewrite history about Mbappe.
But the
So you're
only
telling
reason
me,
why, hold on, the only reason why I would say this is because I think Mbappe's execution of what he does is better than what Dembele does.
Yes,
yeah, but that has nothing.
Consistently.
yes,
Like if we're
exactly.
talking about, I don't think that has anything to do with footballing IQ. Like when we're talking about footballing IQ, I'm mainly talking about positioning. I'm mainly talking about decision making. Like
Mbappe
I
is
think
That's what I'm
Kylian
saying. That's
Mbappe.
what I'm saying. His
Hold
decision
on.
making is better.
Mbappe is better at positioning.
You think Kylian Mbappe's decision making? Like, bro, I feel like we let the World Cup make us forget about the past 2 seasons, bro.
No,
Like
it's just no,
if
no,
we're
no. But
talking
I'm
about
not.
right now, across the last 24 months. You're telling me you've seen better positioning, you've seen better decision making from Kylian Mbappe for Real Madrid than you've seen for Dembele consistently for PSG.
No,
I
I
Wait,
think
hold on. Hold on.
I
but that's the thing.
disagree,
Hold
bro.
on. I'm not
That's not.
saying the last 2 years,
No,
Conrad.
that's
I'm
not what we're
saying
using.
his
We're
whole
talking about
career.
his whole career.
I'm saying right now. I'm saying right
No,
now, bro.
no. Okay, here's my thing. Right, there's a reason why I will not use right now when we're talking about footballing IQ because footballing IQ is something that you have consistently throughout your whole year. It's not something that you just get better
But
in one
if
year.
you haven't
So, wait,
displayed that for
Isaac,
the last
wait, hold on.
24 months, how can
No,
we still attribute that to
okay.
you?
So why
So
has
Ronaldo, that's my issue with it. So Ronaldo is still there's no issues in Ronaldo's game because
no
7 years ago he was the perfect striker. That's the logic a lot of Ronaldo fans use today that we slight them for, bro. What are we talking about? For the past
no
24 months, Kylian Mbappe has consistently displayed poor positioning, bad decision making. He's constantly in areas he shouldn't be. And Dembele is a guy who gets to roam freely in the best team in the world, bro. You think getting that freedom from Luis Enrique, it requires you to have insane IQ, bro. There's a reason Kylian Mbappe couldn't last in that team, bro. I don't understand how we're saying right now, and we're talking about their whole career, if for the past 24 months he hasn't displayed exactly what we're talking about.
But hold on.
I don't understand that logic, bro.
Let me ask this
Let
question
me-
though. No, go on, Rebel. You're gonna be better line. I'll let you know.
Again, let me go on by that logic, right? The fact that you're using Ronaldo, again, that has nothing to do with it because, again, Ronaldo's 41 years old. Yes, his footballing IQ is still very high, but the fact is that Ronaldo is not able to do things that he's able to do because he's just old. Like, age has generally caught up to him.
That's not my
Up
point.
here,
That's not my
no,
point.
wait, let me finish. Up, because I listened to you throughout the whole while. Up here, he's like, he knows what he wants to do, but physically he just cannot execute it because his body is not capable of doing it. So that example is just out the window. The reason why I would never use just the 24-hour mixtures is you're gonna tell me that next season when Mbappe, let's say Real Madrid get the right transfers in, right? And we see him be this exceptional player where he's still scoring. Let's say he even ups his numbers in goal scoring, where he gets a lot more golden boots, and they actually win things because defensively they're going to be a lot stronger. Midfield wise, you're going to be a lot more balanced. You're going to tell me that just suddenly in the span of 3 months, that Mbappe's footballing IQ just got way better than Dembele's?
No. Hold on, Steven.
Okay,
Do you have anything you want to say?
With the last 20 or 24 months?
No, because like I said, bro, I never said Kylian Mbappe isn't a better footballer than Dembele. I'm talking specifically about footballing IQ. If Kylian Mbappe goes on to score 45 goals next season, that's not gonna be because he's an insanely smart footballer. Kylian Mbappe is just extremely technical. Kylian Mbappe is just a physical specimen who's extremely fast, who has extremely like he can stop running, like his acceleration is crazy. Like Kylian Mbappe is just extremely impressive in other fields. How can you tell me that Kylian Mbappe is a smarter footballer than Dembele, bro?
But hold on.
What?
Conrad. We have to be honest here. Neither of these players, for me, do I consider them high in IQ. Neither of them. For me, the way I watch both of them, no, let me land. The reason why I say this is because they're both very instinctive players. Dembele is extremely instinctive. He has a certain, he does that little chop thing we see him do basically every time he's 1v1 with a defender. That's instinct he's using to do that same repetitive skill move over and over again. Mbappe has a similar thing in his game as well, where he gets the ball in a certain position, and it's instinctive what he's going to do next. Wants to drop his shoulder, wants to open up his body and get that Henri type of finish. You know what I'm talking about. In my opinion, there's not much margins between the two of them to say who's significantly more IQ or not. In my opinion, to me personally, when I watch them both play, I see a similar trait. Now, if you were to tell me Dembele has more IQ, I won't even tell you you're wrong because I see what you're saying. Playing in the PSG team, it's a good example. I hear what you're saying. Playing in that team, you must have that ability to be, a very cerebral player that can match you up with your teammates. I'm not denying that. However, for me, the reason why I'm giving it to Mbappe is simply because I feel like Mbappe, in terms of he has more instinctive ways of playing than Dembele does. For me, I've seen Dembele have stinker. Mbappe too, to be fair. Mbappe as well. However, let me land. However, I do think Mbappe's automatisms, like his robotic movements and his the expected moves he's going to do next are more consistently thought out for me than I would say that I've seen from Dembele. And maybe not the last 2 years, but as we said earlier with Rebel, over the course of his career, Dembele's only really acquired this skill that you're talking about in the last 24 months. Mbappe, for me, has always had this ability to be very good. Even at Monaco, that one run he used to make behind the defense, that was classic Mbappe. The ability to trail off the back of a defender, get in behind and score goals. Now, I'm not saying that's the most impressive thing of a player. However, I think that shows you a bit of a trait he has in his game, but he's acquired from a long time.
100%. Like, I have no issue with anything you just said, but again, I just feel like we're looking at it too one-dimensionally, bro. We're only looking at it from the point of attacking a defender.
Okay.
I'm telling you, when you watch this PSG side for the last 24 months, the positions you've seen Dembele take up, Dembele, sometimes he's playing so deep. Like Dembele plays so many different roles in that same PSG teams. In terms of the build-up, what we've seen from Kylian Mbappe, the positions he gets into positions where he's in the way of Vinicius Jr. Like He disrupts the build-up for Real Madrid. I'm not telling you Kylian Mbappe. I think Kylian Mbappe clears Dembele. He's a much better player. But I think that's because Kylian Mbappe is so dominant offensively. But if we're talking about IQ, this Dembele in this PSG side for the last 24 months, bro,
Mm,
he does anything he wants on the pitch. He's constantly creating triangles across the pitch. He's everywhere.
okay.
Like you
Why?
you get what I'm trying to say, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Even in terms of defensively, bro, the
Mm,
way he presses, the way he tracks back, Dembele does everything a number nine shouldn't do, and everything a number nine is supposed to do. Like, I just think Dembele is a much smarter player than
mm.
Mbappe, but I'm not saying he's better than Mbappe. Like, I think Mbappe is much better. I just think, bro, Mbappe is not that smart of a footballer, in my opinion,
Cohesive and as driven by the
at all.
same same goal together, and I think that shows. Some players want to win, some players are like, I'm Brazilian, bro, I'm just here to give a good vibe, samba football, and move on,
I agree. I agree. I also think like Argentina, for example, if we're talking about Argentina in comparison, Argentina are much smarter in terms of they know how to manage the game. They know how to shift the gear when they need to shift the gear. Like I think Brazil don't really know how to play to their strength. I feel like Carlo Ancelotti doesn't really. I mean, I'm not. I hope he can shift my mindset on this, but I feel like Carlo Ancelotti hasn't really played to these players' strengths. He's trying to play in a. He's trying to play dominant, possessive football, where I feel like we should try to be a bit on the counter. We should try to play a bit more defensively, but the Brazilian fan base would also frown upon that play style. So there's also that pressure factor. But I don't know, bro. I just hope when Neymar comes back, they can find a way to turn it around. And I feel like I don't know. I just hope Neymar can play the way I'm expecting him to play. A lot of people are saying Neymar's gonna come on and have a bad tournament. I'm still predicting Neymar to be the player of the tournament, and I'm still predicting Brazil to win the tournament. Like I don't know. Like I still have that faith, but we have to see. But moving on, like I think the dark horses for this tournament, like my two dark horses were Norway and Sweden, and I feel like those two teams have been really impressive. I watched the Sweden game the other day. Did any of you watch those games?
Yeah. I caught basically every game except for like one.
But like for Norway, Erling Haaland scored two goals, but I feel like they were very impressive in terms of the way they managed the game. I feel like the substitutes the coach made, I just feel like Norway was very impressive, but more so Sweden. I feel like Sweden was very good, bro. I feel like that front two of Gyökeres and Isak, they complement each other so well. There's so much balance in that team, bro. I feel like Sweden could actually go very far, but who would be you guys like dark horses for this tournament?
Yo, I'm not gonna. They may not be a dark horse, but I'm not gonna lie. I was really moved by that Morocco performance. I thought Morocco were really impressive, and the only reason why I say that because I know again, one game cannot tell you enough about a team, and I don't think that the story's been written. But I do think Morocco. I think the best thing about the thing you're looking for the most out of any team playing in a tournament is which team resembles most of a club side and can play similar to how a club does, where there's a lot of
Exactly.
cohesion and a lot of like familiarity with, and like you know what I mean, like the patterns and systems in place where the teams can look very consistent no matter who they're playing against. And the way Morocco play as a collective, not just against Brazil. I've been watching them even since AFCON, and I know the whole controversy, but as a whole, like when I watch them play, I'm like thinking, bro, like they seem like they have some real connectivity and some
I get,
familiarity with one
yeah, I get
another.
what you're
And I'm
saying,
picking
hundred
them
percent.
because I think we might see at least one of these African teams do something. I don't know if Ivory Coast can follow that example, but I do think that we'll see something. I think the Moroccan team with having an anchor, when you have a good midfield and even some attackers who are not amazing, yeah, but they have guys they got skill. Like Sabari is a good player. And if you watched him, you know that Ibrahim Diaz is not a
No,
bad player.
Morocco
Like,
are very good, bro.
pardon?
Morocco are very good. I said Morocco are very good. Like I get what you're saying, 100%. Like when you say teams who play like a club side, like Spain. Like a lot of people said, Spain's first performance was mediocre. Like I know they drew, but you can see that Spain have an identity. That's why I think Spain is still gonna go very far in this tournament and could still easily win. Like Spain play like a club side. Spain were trying to break down a low block for 90 minutes constantly. Like it literally looked like when Arsenal are trying to break a low block against the average Premier League team. Like literally. But I think the Senegal also looked like a club side in the way they play. I know they lost. I feel like Senegal were still very impressive against France. The African teams have been very impressive as a whole, bro. A lot of the smaller teams too, but not we can't say the same for Curacao. Like I watched the Haiti game, I would have said we dominated Scotland. I don't know how y'all if y'all watched that game, but Curacao lost 7-1 to Germany, bro. Like that hurt watching, bro. Germany, I would say looked the best out of all the teams personally. I don't know how y'all feel, but I feel like Germany look insane. Like I know Curacao is an easy team, like on paper, but I don't know, bro. 7-1 first game. I feel like they're gonna be very confident going into it. I feel like Verts was very good. Like, what did y'all think about the Germany performance? And do y'all agree that they're like the best team, like on paper, after the first performance? Like, what do y'all think about that?
Um, Nah, I mean, I think they're up there, right? But I just don't think I don't have them as like my favorites so far. Just mainly because
Mhm.
again, as you said, like the team that they played is not that great. I do actually see them making it very far in this tournament, just because like Germany always does well in World Cups where they're not seen as like the favorites or like all eyes are on them. It's just kind of I don't know if you remember in 2014. It's just like it's not like you can't really name me that team and be like, oh, this was an exceptionally well team and they had some of the best players. Like you can't really say that. It was just a very well like glued enough team. And even in the Euros where they were knocked out by Spain, I mean they were by I think they were the better team. Like they outplayed Spain that game. And it was
Mhm.
unfortunate that the ref did not give them a penalty for the handball. I think again they come into this tournament where all eyes are not on them, but as a group they do play really well. But I think what kind of lacks for Spain is that again that front line is I don't think they have that poacher as good as like Havertz is and as good as as good as where I don't know his it starts with the U the guy that Bayern just got like they're both very solid players and they both display like good footballing ability. I think that you when you go against those higher level teams where you're playing the France, the Spains, or even England, I think the fact that they have players who are just pure goal scorers and just threats, it just kind of it just kind of you kind of nick it to them a bit more every single time. So I do think they actually like I would not be surprised if they go on and win it. Like that's a very possibility. But right now, what I have as my number one would still be Argentina. Like I think right now they're still number one. I think number two is France,
Okay.
and I think Germany comes in at number three.
Really?
No,
I think
I
I
think.
think no, we're gonna say the same
Go
thing,
ahead.
Conrad. I think England are a sleeper team here, you know.
Oh, okay,
No, you think England's gonna win the World Cup?
No, 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 no. I did
not
not say that.
win
I don't think they're gonna win it.
performance
But what
wise.
I think is that I feel as though they're gonna do an Arsenal that we saw in the Premier League, bro. They have too much physicality. They're too much.
Oh, you think
They
they're
have they're
gonna
too
get to the final?
bullish. Yeah, like no
I
one
get
can
what you're
stop
saying. No,
them.
like, bro, no, 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 no. England were very good today. Like,
Yes.
a lot of people have been doubting Tuchel's team selection, and like I said, I haven't agreed with what I've seen. Like, I haven't been able to really envision what he was gonna do. But
Mm,
I said I rate Tuchel as a coach, and I rate that he's doing what he wants to do and sticking to picking the players he wants for his specific system. And England looked much better than they've ever looked under Gareth Southgate in
yes.
terms of tactically in the way they played.
One hundred
Bro,
percent.
England looked very good today. England looked
Yes.
like they had an identity. They looked
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they knew the way they wanted to play.
Yep.
Bro, England looked very good today. I feel like England could. I agree with Steven, but I just think England's not gonna win, bro. Like you said, bro, it's kind of an Arsenal thing, bro. Like
I think
I just can't see England winning. Like I just can't see England winning the World Cup.
I know, but
But
the thing is, Conrad, you have to admit this though. They have something that no other team has. Something about this England team makes me think when I'm watching them. I don't know what it is. I get the impression that they're gonna be able to be bullying every team they come against. Who's gonna bully England this tournament? No one.
yeah, I agree. I hear you. I
I
hear you.
mean
But
I think
France, I think, is a bit overrated. I'm not gonna hold you. I still think France is
yeah.
I
better.
knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that.
I
Here's my
still think
problem, right?
France.
I think with England, right, as I don't think I don't think it was because of Thomas Tuchel's tactical flexibility or tactical the tactical decisions are the reason why they looked as good as today. it was all down to their individual brilliance. Like you,
Bro, what are you talking about, bro?
if
What do you
you watch,
mean?
no, no, no. But
What do you
if
mean,
you
bro?
wait, give me a second.
No, you're good. You're good.
Give me a
But
second.
like, bro, I think
Mm,
like I
Yeah,
don't understand how you say it's based
yeah,
off
absolutely.
individual brilliance. It's like, bro, we've never seen England look like this, and we've seen these players play for England. You know what I mean?
No,
Like, I don't know.
no,
What do you mean, Dorian?
but I disagree though, because if we're looking at Thomas Tuchel tactics and how he plays that midfield where he has a diamond in there, it's the same thing as Southgate was doing before, right? I don't think England it would did you. I don't think you see a big difference in where England was playing with Southgate and England was playing in with Thomas Tuchel right now, right?
mhm.
I think what really changed is the fact that right now their individual brilliance. I think the form that Kane is in right now, the double pivot is between Rice and
Anderson.
Anderson, and the fact that they're actually way better now than they are before. I think Bellingham again, he's just he's insane. Like Bellingham is actually an insane player, and the way how he's grown into his role, just their individual qualities helped them win this match. Like that was the reason why they won this match. It was just you saw the first half. It was just kind of back and forth a little bit. They had
Mm,
their chances, but you got into the second half, and it was just we're better than you. We're stronger than you. We're faster than you. We're just better than you overall. And we they took control of that game, and it was not because of um Thomas Tuchel's like
tactical,
tactical
yeah, master plan.
it was
Okay,
it,
I get what you're saying, but like, bro, I disagree. I feel like it's the opposite because I feel like in the past England have relied on the individuals. Like with Gareth Southgate, I feel like they've made these deep runs in tournaments because it's always been like a neck and neck game. They've struggled against poor teams, and then Saka scores a winner, Bellingham scores a bicycle kick. Like they've relied on individual moments, whereas I feel like today I didn't catch the whole game. I catch parts of the game,
Mm,
but like I felt like I really saw England dominate periods of the game. Like I felt like I saw patterns of play. I felt like
yeah.
I saw like an identity, which I
Mhm.
feel like England have lacked in the past. I don't know though. Steven, what did you think watching
No,
the game today? I
I
didn't
actually
watch the full thing.
yeah, I saw the full game, and I have to say it was a bit of both. I feel like when you're a new not necessarily a new manager, but what I mean is that when you are coaching aside, especially first game of a World Cup tournament, there's going to be
Hmm.
moments where you're going to really need to rely on your best players to get you out of situations, like Kane with the header in the second goal of the game
Hmm.
for England at that time. But I do agree with you, Conrad. From what I was watching, it felt like there really was a pattern, there was a system, there was an identity that Tuchel had imprinted
Hmm.
on the team. This is actually why I think
Hmm.
he chose the players he chose, like you said before. I feel like that's based on the fact that these guys play his football the best. They suit what he wants the best. If it was going to be individual brilliance, he would have brought Palmer, he would have brought Foden, he would have brought these other guys who are known for giving these qualities, at least some point in their career, to add this to their game. He's now opted to go and choose for lesser quality players, even like Nani Madueke, who Conrad, I'm not the biggest fan of. But today, as terms of the system, he was very good. He fit the role he needed to fit, and he played the role he needed to play. And that's what I'm saying about there's something you can kind of predict. He's going to be in this space, covering up, occupying the left back. He's going to be in this this channel, making himself a nuisance. And I thought objectively, as much as I don't like England rebel, because trust me, I don't want them to win. I literally posted that like 20 minutes before this.
I
However,
don't know.
I
I don't
have to
want
be
him to.
honest. You don't want them to either. I don't think so.
No,
For me, I have to be real with you. They have a good blend of individual talent when it's needed, but they also have a coach who can actually coach a team and give them something to play towards, something to connect with when they look at each other. So who's going to be where? Who's going to do what next? That's how I saw it.
yeah.
facts.
I don't like
Not
necessarily.
Rebel. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like disagree with that. Again, like I do think they have a good chance of winning it. Um, but again, I do think that the selective that he had, where he picked the players that kind of fit his system, I think Stones was horrible today, and that's shown because he has not played all season.
Agreed. He
He
was
hasn't,
bad today.
Yeah,
and,
Stones is
but,
washed, bro.
but
Stones is washed.
you leave a player out like Maguire who has consistently played and performed for England for about what 4 major tournaments right now,
Yes,
and
yes.
then you're gonna bring a guy he
No,
hasn't
I
played.
agree, 100%.
Like that's
No,
what I'm
it's a
saying.
mistake.
Um,
Like, yeah. We
Reece
talked about it
James.
last pod. Like,
Reece
I
James was
still
bad
don't
today.
understand. Reece James wasn't bad.
He was
I don't
bad.
say he was
He was
bad.
He
okay.
lost
He
his
was
man
okay
for
at
that.
best,
Bad
Connor.
is
He was
harsh.
okay.
Bad is
Bro,
harsh.
He was
No,
just
no, but I
okay.
feel like bad is harsh.
he
Like,
he
okay, like
if
I
wait, let's
agree,
be
bro. Some
honest.
of
Let's
the
okay, if we're being
okay,
hold
go
on,
ahead.
if we're being honest, right? That second goal that England conceded, if
Mhm.
that was Trent and he lost his man like that,
Yeah, he
it
would get
would be
ripped.
all over the internet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It would be all over the internet
He
talking
would
about
have
how
got
bad
ripped. He would
he
have
was
got ripped. He would
defensively
have
and
got ripped.
how bad a game that he's had.
I ain't gonna lie. He would have got ripped.
Ripped apart, but no one is going
Yeah.
to speak about it because it's just Reece James,
Yes,
right?
that is true.
True,
I mean,
true.
that's fine. But now let's move on to.
But
You want to move on to the Portugal
no,
game?
no, no. Like, yeah, no, the Portugal game, I don't even want to talk about that. I feel bad for Ronaldo, bro. But like, I was gonna say, we talked about it last week. Like, yes, I agree. I still don't understand some of the decisions he made. Like, I don't know what y'all thought about Jed Spence today. I didn't catch the whole game. What did Jed Spence play? Like, I know he came on.
I mean, he
He
was
wasn't
fine.
bad
Yeah,
either.
he barely
Okay, he
came
was
on. He
bad.
was fine.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. But
NA.
like, I don't get some of the decisions like Henderson, Jed Spence, etc. But I just think England were impressive today, and
Yes.
Thomas Tuchel is England's coach, and he made the decisions. So if they're playing well, I'm not gonna criticize the coach. You get what I'm trying to say? Like in
Yeah,
Mm.
the grand scheme of at the end of the day, if they play well, it doesn't matter who he didn't call up and who plays bad, as long as the team plays well. Ghana just scored a winner, by the way.
No way.
But
I'm not watching them.
yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah, Ghana just scored a winner. Yeah,
Crazy.
but to talk more about the individual, no. Let's talk about the smaller teams too. I want to talk about Haiti, bro. I thought Haiti played very well. I went to the
Yeah.
game. Scotland got away with murder, bro. In
Murder,
my
bro.
opinion, there was a penalty that should have been given, and even throughout the game, like we dominated Scotland, bro. Like even some of the Scottish
100%.
fans, they told us like they got away with it. They didn't play well. Robertson was poor. McGinn was poor. Guys like experience. Our winger was excellent. He created so much chances. Belgrade, he played he played. He's usually a 10, but he played deeper. Even our center backs, like I don't remember his name, but the number 4, the dude with the dreadlocks, and
Yes, I
our
know you're
right
talking
back
about. He was good.
Arcus. Yeah, our right back Arcus was really good. Like Haiti played like they outplayed everybody's expectations, the fans and the media included, bro. But I also think there was a pen that should have been given in that game. But a lot of the smaller teams have been very impressive, bro. Like we got to shout out Cape Verde, or how do you pronounce it? I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know.
I think
They
Yeah,
got a
Cape
draw
Verde.
against Spain, bro. They got a draw against the favorites, bro. I do think we're overreacting to Spain's poor
Me
performance.
too.
Like their
Me too.
best player was missing, bro.
Yeah,
Their
yeah.
best player was missing. Their best Lamine Yamal played fucking 10, 15 minutes, bro. Like we got to remember that, bro. Like
No,
Spain
of
are gonna
course.
look like a different beast. I also think Rebel is overrating Argentina a little bit, bro. Like I don't think Argentina are the favorites to win the World Cup, bro.
No. They're
Like
in amongst it, but they're not a favorite.
No,
just
I
because
think
they won 3-0, like I get what you're saying, but Algeria were poor. Algeria's
Yeah.
keeper was poor. You have to acknowledge that, bro. They beat a poor team, bro. Like to say that, like the same way you could say Germany, they beat Curacao. I know Curacao is much worse than
Mm-hmm,
Algeria, but
mm-hmm,
they destroyed Curacao. You know what I mean? So like
mm-hmm.
I just feel like just off that performance, I can't say Germany or Argentina are the favorites necessarily. But I get what you're saying. Argentina were insane. Messi was insane. But to talk more about the individuals, bro, who would y'all say are like the top 5 players so far? Probably Messi. Or would y'all say he's first or second? Or what y'all think?
Yeah, I personally, I think because of his status in the game, and a lot of people going into this World Cup were doubting him. I heard a lot of people saying he's definitely like Ronaldo, same
Mm-hmm.
category of branding. He's also washed. He won't have any impact on Argentina. And I know for me, I never believed that. So for me, Con, I think he has to be one or two at minimum. Like the
Like
performance.
if we
I
were
know
to
the
do a
goals.
power ranking,
Yes,
like I think Messi has to be first right now. He has to be leading the
I know the
charts. Like,
goals
bro,
weren't. I know it wasn't. I agree with you because trust me, I know what you're saying. I've seen hat tricks with Messi from when we were younger and earlier in his career, where they're like literally
mm,
undeniable golazos. Where like there's nothing the keeper can do. The Luka Zidane, bro,
mm,
Zidane's son had a shameless performance. Like shame to the name
true.
Zidane. It was that bad. I won't even lie. But it's still the goal. I'm not gonna disrespect, bro. Messi's still
Facts,
Messi. So for
facts,
sure, I put
facts.
him first.
And
I
even
think
the third goal was excellent. The third
yes, that's what
goal,
I'm
the
saying.
keeper
That's what
can't
I'm
do anything
saying.
about
That's
that.
that's
True.
exactly what I'm saying. Like he's still him. obviously you have Kiki Lebondi, you still have Mbappe. I think that second goal he scored, bro, for me was one of the best I've seen this tournament by far. Like, there's not many players in the game that can currently do that. Let's be real. Like that's an Mbappe, clinical Mbappe finish. When I
Exactly.
saw that, I said, okay, put my hands up, you know?
No, Mbappe was, but even there, we have to acknowledge that for the first 30 minutes of that game, Mbappe was poor. Mbappe was
Yes,
making mistakes.
yes,
But
he was poor.
Mbappe
Yes.
is so talented that all it takes is one moment. He takes the ball, he turns, he shoots, goal.
Oh,
That's what I mean when I say he's not that smart of a player, but he's still outrageously good, bro. You get what I'm
mhm.
trying to say? Like, I'm
Yes,
not
yeah, yeah.
trying to diss Mbappe at all when I say that. Like, Mbappe, after Messi, Mbappe has to be second for me so
Yes.
far. If we're talking about performance, Mbappe was excellent after those bar the first 30 minutes of being, which doesn't matter though. Like, it
Mhm.
doesn't matter, bro. Like, I think Mbappe was excellent. Rubel, what do you think though? Would you put Mbappe above Messi, or would you put
No
first or
man,
second?
it's, no one is above Messi, bro. It's no one. That's that
I knew you would
the best,
agree.
the best
Yes.
player in the world,
So
bro.
we have Messi, Mbappe. Third is where it probably gets a little tougher. Who would y'all put in that third
I have a
spot?
rogue shout, Conrad. I think
Mm.
Isak really impressed me for Sweden. I'm not gonna
Isak
lie.
was really good, man.
Yeah,
And I've
man.
been telling people how good Sweden are gonna be. It's not even just Isak, the whole 11, the cohesion. They're so
Yeah,
well balanced. They're
yeah,
well coached too, bro. They're so good. I think the build up, not the build up. I think the hold up play from Gyökeres and the pace from Isak and how inventive Isak can be. They complement each other so well, man.
I
I don't
think
know. I think Sweden are gonna go far for me, but I wouldn't agree that he's third. But I think
hmm
it's a great shout. It's a great shout.
well,
It's a
honorable
great shout.
mention. It doesn't have to be Tennessee, but I thought his performance so far has been one of the
He
best
was
I've
really
seen.
good. It was really good. Rebel,
I
what do you
think
think?
again I agree with you about them being the dark
Mhm.
horses. Again, I think for me when it comes to the World Cup, um, individual performances will always like be the first thing that I look at when I look at a team. And I'm like, okay, when the team is struggling and they're not playing the best, is there one guy that can go on and win the game for them by himself? Or is there one guy that can take the game on by the scruff of the neck and just do it by himself and kind of dig them out of the hole that they're in? And I think Sweden having that firepower with Jokeres and Isak is just it's such a huge advantage compared to like other small teams where those two alone, let's say they even concede two, let's say that Sweden concedes 2 goals, they have the quality of Isak and Jokeres to go and score 4 goals. Like
Yeah,
it's not it's and when you it's not they don't they have two type of strikers, right? They have a guy who's good at hold up play and running into space that's very physically strong. And then you
hmm
have another striker right next to him who doesn't necessarily need through balls. Give the ball to his feet. He's able to dribble. He's very explosive. And essentially, I'm sorry, there's no center back that can guard Isak. Like he's consistently shown us that truly there's no center back that will keep up with him. We've seen
yeah.
it where he was in the Newcastle team and he was going up against Saliba and Gabriel. They look so off of it when they and it's not like they can. They're much stronger than he is, right? They're much stronger, and Saliba is just an insane defender. Like I rate him very highly,
Me too.
um, but he just struggles because of how fluid Isak is,
Yeah, yeah.
and you pair that up with someone who's able to occupy the center backs, like it's they have such an unfair advantage compared to like other small teams with
hmm
these two type of like profile strikers where they can make major upsets. I think they still have defensive like they still
Frailties.
have holes in the defense, but again, if
Yeah,
they're
they're
able
not
to
a
just
perfect team, bro.
yeah, if they're able to just go ahead some games where they just need to smash and grab, like I think they're able to do that.
Yeah,
I,
they
I do
definitely
agree
can.
with Isak being third. Um fourth,
I actually
fourth
agree now that I think about it. Like, I was trying to, who would you put over Isak in terms of the first game, the performance after the first game?
I
Like, I
mean,
hear what Steven is saying.
you know what
I
I'm
hear what
saying?
Steven is saying.
Like based on the whole
Yeah,
performance,
like
not just the goals he
I
scored,
also
like
think
as a
I
performance.
also think Diamande, that winger
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah, yeah. Yandy
Ivory
Omande is
Coast,
good.
he was insane for the
Yeah, yeah,
first
yeah.
for
People
if
rate
we're
this
talking about
guy.
first game.
Mm.
There was also the midfielder for Morocco. Sadly, he was
Buhari,
really
bro.
good against
Ayu
Brazil. Yeah, he was
Buhari
really
is
good
a
against Brazil.
baller. That
was
kid
really
is
good
good.
against Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
What about
who
what
else would
about
y'all put in there?
what about Pulisic, your boy Conrad, or Flo Balogun, bro? Those guys were cooking against Paraguay.
Yeah,
I can't
those
even lie.
We
guys.
we gotta talk about the U.S. The U.S. actually looked much better than
They
most
do.
people thought.